Hi, everyone. It's Shirley Farrar, and this is Encouragement on Fire. Welcome to the space. So, we are in 2025, and we are still talking about defeating cancer, sickness, and disease, and having that life work balance. And how are we going to do that in 2025? We're going to do it through prayer, through nutrition, and also through wellness. So today, episode number 2, we are talking about nutrition, and that is anti-inflammatory foods. Yes, we're going there again. We've talked about it in the past. But we have to keep reiterating what it is that we need to do. Most of us, when something's not in front of us, we tend to not look at it. So out of sight, out of mind, but we have to constantly be in front of that. And all of those individuals that are watching, I appreciate you. Those that we are texting back and forth and we're talking while you're going through your journey, I am here for you. I'm encouraging you. You've got this. You win. You're coming through your process. Okay. And all those that are out there that have yet to contact me, who have yet to have a conversation, I'm going to encourage you through this podcast, even if I never meet you. But I'm hoping that one day we have an opportunity to communicate, to talk, and to fellowship. Okay. So let's get started. So, nutrition, anti inflammatory foods. Let's talk about that. Why? Well, doctors are telling us that if we can decrease inflammation in our bodies, then we are healthier. Why do individuals get sick? People get sick because there's inflammation that causes the diseases in the body. And so we need to constantly think about what is it that I'm putting in my body that will decrease inflammation and help me to live a longer life, right? A healthier life. Isn't that what we all want? And you all know that every day, even though the doctors had diagnosed me with certain things, including the sarcoidosis, that is something that the doctor told me that I need to make sure that I decrease inflammation in my body. So I'm not telling you I perfect. Everyone knows I get my Snickers bar or my M&Ms. I'm faithful on that. I'm not telling you that I don't. However, I need to make sure there's a balance in that. And so every opportunity that I'm strong enough to say no to pizza or no to something else, I try to do it. But every so often, I'm still having those items as well because it's okay if we are balancing some of these things out and keeping down the inflammation. So, this is something that I practice every day. So, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't practice it. I practice what I'm telling you. I have to in order for me to live healthy. Okay. See, I know that I'm healed. I know that I'm set free from this, but that doesn't mean that I can just do anything that I want. No, I have to live a certain lifestyle to remain in my healed state. Okay. So, and yes, I do say grace over my food. Yes, I do speak to my food and say, you're not going to harm me. Absolutely. And do I still do my due diligence to make sure I eat the right things? Majority of the time. I try to do what I can. But like I said, you're going to treat yourself because there needs to be balance. So, we're going to talk about fruits and vegetables. We got to eat those fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, those different things, right? What does that look like? So fruits and vegetables. And I'm going to talk about a story at the same time I'm talking about these things. So just come along with me. So I want to introduce some fruits. All right. So first of all, if you're not, you should definitely be eating these fruits. All right. So these are blueberries, any kind, just as long as they're healthy blueberries. Some people do organic. I do regular, but it's up to you what you're going to do. You have to, regulate what you're going to do for you. Also, there's strawberries, if that's your thing. Strawberries, right? And then raspberries, cherries, and the good old fashioned orange. orange. Yes, so oranges are great. So you always can carry one of these in your pocket. Come on, even if you can't with the blueberries, because I like to keep those nice and cold, but an orange is a good thing. So fruits and vegetables, all of these are wonderful things that are rich in antioxidants, um, and they reduce inflammation. So wonderful treats that help you to stay healthy. Also, vegetables, leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, broccoli, beets. So I'm going to tell you that I am a faithful person of the mixed greens or the spring mix. Okay, so always you can throw this on a sandwich. You can throw this on your plate. Add some raspberries, a little drizzle, or a little even this is another one. Olive oil. Okay, so I'm telling you, olive oil is really a healthy fat. So a lot of times people are doing butter. I replace my butter with healthy fat. This is what I use in place of that. So I'm saying to you, it does work over time. My inflammation has gone down so much that my doctor told me that I don't need to see him, that particular doctor, as often. I literally see him once a year now. He said, the only reason I need to see you, that particular doctor, only reason I need to see you is if your body becomes inflamed. I have not had to see my doctor in this area for one whole year. Okay. Now, you also want to eat avocados. So I get my avocados and I'm ready to make, my avocado dish or whatever and slice them up, put them in my salad, whatever I'm going to do. I like that fresh. So I get that the same day or the day, 2 days within that time, because we all know avocados go bad. And then you also want to do, you can do nuts. So remember, these are healthy fats. So you can do nuts. Remember, I'm doing a brand that's not expensive, but you can do other brands. Everyone to each his own. I stay with the inexpensive brands so then I can continue to eat healthy because it gets expensive to eat healthy. Okay. Brown rice. All right. I didn't grab my brown rice, but everybody knows what brown rice looks like. Get your brown rice out. I put it in the quick. I have a timer that makes it for me, so I don't have to be doing it over the stove. And it doesn't. When it's done, I'm able to eat and add it to my other items. Legumes, yes, chickpeas, lentils, all beans, absolutely, and fish and seafood. Now, I wanted to talk to you about why we need to keep down the inflammation, why we need to eat as healthy as possible. And I'm always trying to bring you balance. So, for all my faith based people out there, spiritual people who say, food is connected to us, yes, it is. And we have instruction in the Holy Bible on doing what is right for us. Because a lot of times people say, well, they ate all kinds of weight. No, no, no. There was certain regimen for certain cultures, for certain people. And I know all my people out there that have different cultures, you have a specific way that you eat. One of the things that I have incorporated in my meal is turmeric. So you see it's not in a original container, but I have my turmerics. I have about 7 of these inside my cabinet and I add it to just about everything when I am eating because it does what? It lowers the inflammation and that is what is important. So there is a story in the Bible, okay? Daniel himself. So if you go to Daniel 1, there is a story about Daniel and with the king at the time. And Daniel had received favor with the prince of the eunuchs. So if you get a chance to read Daniel 1, you will see this story in there. And in this particular story, uh, Daniel, him and there was 3 of the gentlemen that were with Daniel, and they had, of course, biblical names. So let me see if I can get it. Yeah, there it is. So there was Daniel, there was Hananiah, there was Mishael, and there was Azariah. So that was their original names, but we all know them because if you person that reads the Bible or you person that heard the if you're a Catholic, you heard the stories, but that was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So think of that. Those are the 3, and we know the stories of them. However, there was a story where in Daniel 1 where there was a regimen, the way that the king ate. The king had a certain diet for his kingdom, and everyone was required to do as the king had said. Well, guess what? Daniel was a man of God, and he said, I'm going to eat the way that God told me to eat. I'm encouraging all of you, eat the way that God has encouraged you to eat. And that's going to be different for each person, because guess what? Your body's made up differently than someone else's. So what's going to work for you? What's the regimen for you? Okay? And all the fruits that I just named, the vegetables, the good fats, all of those things can be in your regimen, but it may be a different variety than someone else. So in Daniel's situation, he knew that God had told him to eat fruits and vegetables. There was a certain regimen he had to eat. And there was a conversation between him and the prince of the eunuchs. And he says, well, why are you so special? Why do we need to let you do this? Well, after so much conversation, it came to a point where he had favor. And so he was allowed, him and the others that were with him, to be able to eat this certain way in their training. Well, guess what? After a certain amount of time, they looked different than everybody else. They were healthier. They were more conditioned. Had more muscle than everyone else. Okay. So a lot of times we think it's just the opposite. Mm-mm. They look better than everyone else. And so because of that, they were allowed to continue to eat the way that they did. So I'm saying to you, even in biblical times, there's a way for you to eat at different times of seasons. And in this particular one, I'm saying to you right now, what is your season? What has the doctor said to you? Right? Because most of the time we eat a certain way that our parents brought us up. And sometimes it's a good thing or a bad thing. But most parents do well. They have us eating good nutrition foods, right? Like the ones that I just showed you. And the number one thing that we all need to do is what? Drink water. That's what we need to do. Drink lots of water. So I say that to say, what is your regimen going to look like for you to be healthy? That is what we need to look at. Okay. And there is another scripture in the Bible. I just want to go to it because I think it's fitting for what we're talking about. It is actually in Proverbs 3, 7, and 8. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. And I'm saying to you, sometimes we have to take a moment and say, okay, God, in our prayer time, what is it going to be good for me to do? And I believe that we get an answer. We may get an answer through literature that we're reading. We get an answer in our dreams. We get an answer through someone else. We get an answer through our doctors. But God gives us an answer on what is the best thing for you to do. And once you have that information, we are responsible to take that information and to move forward. We don't want to turn around and do the opposite of what we've been instructed. So as you're working with your doctors, as you're reading good information on the internet, as you are reading certain nutrition literature, and you're coming on here and talking with me on this encouragement on fire, we are working a plan, right? So let's develop a plan as we're moving forward on what's the best thing for you. So let's keep going on some of the things that are really good for you. So remember, fish and seafood, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines. My mother loves sardines. Those are wonderful and inexpensive ways to treat yourself, right? I like to put them on crackers too. And then there's spices and herbs, like I said, the turmeric, but also ginger and garlic. Garlic, important, garlic. We have to make sure we're doing the original garlic. You guys, in the spring, I will be able to show you my original garlic that I put in the garden a few months back. And so I will be able to harvest it and show you my first set of garlic. Like I said, around, I think it's April or May, I'll be able to do that. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to give some away, but I'm also going to replan again, and we're going to have a wonderful time. Maybe we're going to make some items, some foods together using that particular garlic. Okay. And also, let me show you another one. I found this one out from actually one of my daughter-in-laws. She had this, Rita, I'm giving you a shout out. She left this at my house, and this is for my little granddaughter, and it is organic strawberry stony field. I looked at the ingredients for this, me and my mom. Excellent ingredients. So if anyone has any, and I'm not getting paid for this product, I'm just letting you know this is a good product for children, because we're always trying to feed them good things to eat. But guess what? Sometimes the good old fashioned, going back to the original fruits and vegetables, is going to work because it has its own natural sugar, and our children love that, right? They don't always want candy. We think they do, but no, they will take an orange in a minute, a piece of apple. They will do those things, simply because it's natural to them to eat that way. Um, and then beverages, green tea, herbal teas. How many of you are doing that? Make sure you're doing that, going to the store. Sometimes you can buy it in a box. However, sometimes you can go to herbal store and you can get the leaves and you can make your own tea and steep it. Okay? Let's see. Fermented foods, important. Yogurt, like I was saying, but also Greek yogurt. I get the original Greek yogurt and original, nothing in it. And I add my blueberries, I add my fruits, bananas, I add all those things in it when I'm about to eat it, as well as sauerkraut. Oh my goodness, sauerkraut on whatever you're going to have. I know some people are thinking hot dogs, but hot dogs are really not that good for you, even though we tend to eat them. But you can put sauerkraut on something, healthier. You may even sometimes put it on, I don't know, maybe your salad, or you can put it on something else. And maybe it is a hot dog, but it's a better hot dog, a kosher hot dog, something that's been made better for you. Okay. And also kefir, fermented milk drink. I was drinking this, oh my goodness, during the time when I was going through my process of going through the sickness. And trust me, kefir is a good one. That is a good one that you want to definitely put in your body, because it's a beneficial probiotic, which helps your body. It builds good bacteria in your body. Okay, now while you're on your, make sure you talk to your doctor, because while you're going through the chemicals, them injecting them, it may not be something you should take on. However, after you're done, it's a good product for you to have. So remember, talk to your doctor. All I'm saying, things of suggestions, all right, not mandates. And then the good old dark chocolate. Yes, dark chocolate. Everyone out there love dark chocolate. Dark chocolate. That's right. The 70%, the cocoa. You want to definitely have that. It is has antioxidant properties, and it is definitely going to be something that's good for you. It also helps with the mood. So if you're in a downer, that's a good little piece of a treat for yourself, and get you back in a better mood. But all these fruits and vegetables, you know, our doctors are telling us these are good things for us. The research is telling us that it's good for us. The Bible states in several places, and we only went over one. Well, it's two. One in Daniel 1, and also in Proverbs 3, where fruits and vegetables are good for you. Okay, so we got to get back to the basics, you guys. We got to get back to doing these things for ourselves. And oh, and I found this, and this before I leave you today. I found this today in the supermarket. It is oatmeal. It says oatmeal cookie oat non-dairy creamer. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have to have a creamer in my coffee. And yes, I do drink coffee. When I was in my sick process, I did not drink coffee for over a year and a half. But now I'm back to drinking good coffee. I have my blends. Yes, coffee is good for you during the day. And what I also use is my creamer inside of it, my oat creamer inside of it, because I need a little sweetener in that. I am barely using the sugar now. I had went back to sugar for a period of time, and I've pulled back on the sugar. I said I won't do that unless it's pure cane or something like that, because you got to make sure that what kind of sugar are you using. And I've been going back to some of the other I would say alternative sugars, but not the ones you're thinking. I'm going back to the ones that are made out of roots, things of that nature. And we're going to have a segment on that going forward, because we've done it in the past. So we'll talk about that. Oh, that's my time. You know, I love to stay before you and I love to talk with you, but I am always going to be consistent on our time together. So I just want to say, I hope that all of you have seen some of the fruits and vegetables, the different healthy fats, whole grains that we talked about, in addition to the Bible instruction that fruits and vegetables are good for you, and that the Lord wants us to be able to be whole in our bodies. So I'm Shirley Farrar, and this has been Encouragement on Fire. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.